Hello guys, this is Crush Kumhuxki here, and today we are going to be reading Aesop's Fables. Because I can. Anyways, this is the book. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't. We'll see. Okay, first story is called The Boy Bathing. A boy was bathing in a river and got out of his depth and was in a great danger of being drowned. A man who was passing along a road close by heard his cries for help and went to the riverside and began to scold him for being so careless as to get into deep water, but no attempt to help him. "Oh, sir," cried the boy, "please help me first and scold me afterwards. Give assistance, not advice in a crisis. Please help me first." Okay, there's an obvious moral to this story. That guy is clearly a Karen. I'm joking. Well, actually, what's the male version of a Karen? He would be a Kevin. At least, that's, I don't know. But in all seriousness, I don't know why he would do that. That scheme seems kind of silly. Of, not helping the boy when he's drowning. Maybe he's secretly evil. I don't know. Okay. Next story we're going to read is called The Quack Frog, if I'm pronouncing that right. The Quack Frog. Behold all the animals in this picture. Once upon a time, a frog came forth from his home in the marshes and proclaimed to all the world that he was a learned physician, skilled in drugs, and able to cure all diseases. Among the crowd was a fox who called out, "You, a doctor? How can you set up and heal others when you cannot even cure your own lame legs and blotched, wrinkled skin? Physician, heal thyself." And that story, let me tell you what the moral of that story is. Frogs are built to have legs that are bent, and frogs are built to have warts on their back. So clearly, that fox is very speciesist. I don't know why he's speciesist. He just is. Maybe the frog really wanted to be a doctor, and his parents wanted him to be a doctor, but instead, the fox was like, no, you're a frog, you can't be a doctor. Stinking fox. Okay. That was a nice story. Let's go to the next one. The next story is called The Swollen Fox. Wow, this story also has a fox in it. A hungry fox found a quantity of bread and meat in a hollow tree, which some shepherds had placed there. Delighted with his find, he slipped through the narrow opening and greedily devoured it all. But when he tried to get out again, found himself so swollen that after his meal that he could not squeeze through the hole, and fell to whining and groaning over his misfortune. Another fox, happening to pass that way, came and asked him what was the matter. And on leaning the state on case, said, "Well, my friend, I see nothing for it, for you have to stay where you till you shrink to your former size. You'll get out then easily enough. Don't be too big for your britches." He found himself so swollen. Moral story, I guess, don't be greedy and eat too much. You hear that, Mr. Wolfie? Maybe someday you'll go into a tree. I'm joking, I'm just teasing my brother. You know how siblings love teasing each other. Okay, we'll read one more. Wait, technically we read 3. And we have time for one more. The Mouse, the Frog, and the Hawk. Here's the picture. I feel I know what's going to happen in this story. A mouse and a frog were friends. They were not really suited, for the mouse lived entirely on land, while the frog was at home on land or in water. So that they might not be separated, the frog tied together by the leg with a piece of thread. On a dry land all went well. But coming to a pool, the frog jumped in, taking the mouse with him, and began swimming about. The unhappy mouse was drowned and floated on the surface. He was spied by a hawk who pounced down and seized him. The frog couldn't loosen the knot binding him to the mouse, and he was carried off and also eaten by the hawk. Start wrong, end wrong. Well, this has a very simple moral. Friendship is good, but don't be stupid about friendship, I suppose. Because I don't know why you tie thread to your legs. Friendship is good. Just be cautious, little ones. Let's see, what's next? The Boy and the Needles. Well, that seems like a good story. A boy was gathering berries from a hedge when his hand was stung by needles. Smarting with the pain, he ran to his mother and said her between his sobs, "I only touched it ever so slightly, mother. That's just why you got so stung, my son," said she. If you had grasped it firmly, it would have hurt you in the least. Held strongly to what you want. I don't understand that. Let's just move on to the next book, next story, next thing. I don't understand anymore. Jupiter and the Tortoise. Oh, Jupiter, one of my favorite planets. Jupiter was about to marry a wife and determined to celebrate all the events by inviting all the animals to a banquet. Oh, you mean the planet? Okay. They all came except the tortoise, who did not put in an appearance, much to Jupiter's surprise. So when he next saw the tortoise, he asked why he did not been at the banquet. "I don't care for going out," said the tortoise. "There's no place like home." Jupiter was so annoyed by this reply, he decreed that from that time forth, the tortoise should carry his house upon his back and never be able to get away from home, even if he wished to. It doesn't pay to anger the gods. Wait, that's the moral? It doesn't pay to anger the gods? That's a stupid moral, because there's so many religions out there. So what if you're monotheistic? Or I'm not even going into that. But I don't even this story is clearly a stupid one. Because if maybe the tortoise had a reason he didn't want to go. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he had a funeral to go to. Who knows? But Jupiter was being Jupiter-y. Stinking Jupiter. I blame him for the economy. I'm joking. Okay. I think that's enough time. That was about the time that we had for these books. I'm going to put the sticky note there. And, yeah. So, next week we're probably going to read the same book if I pick it from the bin again, book. You see, I have a little bin, and I pick which activity we get to do every Saturday. So maybe it won't be reading, but it will be something. It will be something fun. It always is. So, come back next time. I'll see you. And this is Crush Kumhaksky signing